Brilliance Audio presents Social Selling, Techniques to Influence Buyers and Changemakers by Tim Hughes and Matt Reynolds. Performed by Andrés Pabon. Introduction to Social Selling. The idea of social selling always sounds appealing. All you have to do to sell on social media is log in, find opportunities, and close deals. Easy, right? Moreover, the question, why should you do social selling, seems like it has an obvious answer. In reality, though, the standard answer of, it's a new, good way to find leads is misleading. As we shall go on to explain, the reality is that over time, social selling will become the only way that B2B, business-to-business selling, can be done at all. Traditional interrupt selling or marketing. Sales has traditionally worked by having the salesperson interrupt a C-level executive. In organizations, especially in the United States, the highest level people have job titles such as Chief Executive Officer, CEO, Chief Financial Officer, CFO, etc. It is these people that are often called collectively C-level. It is assumed that they all sit together on one floor of a corporation, and this is often called the C-suite. In this book, when we talk about selling or marketing at the highest level in an organization, we will use the term C-level. The salesperson would traditionally have to fight through the gatekeeper, personal assistant, secretary, or voicemail to eventually have a conversation with that C-level executive. From there, the salesperson would sell an idea into the business. In order for the deal to work, that idea would promise a vision that would look to solve some problem that was causing pain to the business. The idea would then be nurtured into strategy, and from there, into implementation. Sales was a partnership, that partnership being formed at the top level of the organization. The problem with the classical sales approach is that the salesperson naturally brings bias into the organization. Although salespeople selling complex solutions will act in a way that's like a consultant, their agenda is to sell what they want to sell, perhaps more properly put as, in a position to sell, and that solution might not be exactly what the business needs. This has been a historic fault in how businesses buy throughout the whole history of commerce. This method of allowing the C-level exec to be sold at by an external agent will always bring in bias. Businesses accepted this bias and attendant inefficiency because it used to be too difficult to approach the problem in a different way. Having the C-level exec constantly interrupted by salespeople was a good enough way for the business to get its needs met. However, businesses, like all complex organisms, will tend to find more optimal solutions to problems, and so now businesses are actively evolving to change the way they run the buying process so that this external bias is removed. Businesses are now finding they achieve better results by asking employees to use social networks to research solutions to problems in a way that removes bias. By going out into the social networks and using the hive mind, network effect, connected economy, and so on, businesses can design solutions for themselves that are as good as those designed by external salespeople, but don't have the problem of bias. The upshot of this is that the salesperson is being squeezed out of the buying process, or rather being pushed further down the process until such time as they have to be included. That's clearly not ideal for the salesperson, although it does produce better results for the business. Social selling is a different way of buying. Social selling is a reaction to this change in buyer behavior. It proposes a way of getting the salesperson back into the buying process so that they can once again control and influence the buying decisions of the business. This is a very important fact to appreciate. Social selling isn't an opportunity that has come about because social media creates a different way to sell. Social selling is a reaction that has come about because social media creates a different way to buy. Traditional selling has stopped being effective. What sales organizations...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?